welcome to the Des Amours Design podcast. Today, I have the pleasure of having my first guest. I met her on Instagram a few months ago. She did a live at the beginning of the quarantine where we were talking about organization. So when it came time for me to start recording this second podcast, I was looking for somebody to do it, and the first name that popped into my head was hers because I'm like, we all need some organizations in our life. I need some organization in my life. So I have Rebekah with me today. She is a mother of four. She's a mother of many plants. She has two dogs, and in her free time, she strives to create beauty and inspire others to do the same. Her blog includes free crochet pattern and fun crochet techniques, and her Etsy shop includes fun and quirky products to help you express your joy of crocheting. So let me...
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing really well.
So I think she's laughing because we were chatting for a few minutes prior to us starting recording this.
I just laugh a lot. It's a thing I do. I don't know why.
I mean, it's good. I do that too. I laugh at the right moment and at the wrong moments. Because sometimes
I do a lot of laughing at the wrong thing.
And I'm like, oh my God, that's so. And I start laughing. I'm like, oh no, that was the wrong time to do it.
Right? Like, I do that. Like, I don't know what to do, so I just laugh. And then everybody's like, it wasn't funny. I'm sorry.
So, Rebekah, tell us a little bit about yourself, how you got started into crocheting.
Well, crocheting is just like one of the many things. Like I say I come from a heritage of crafty people. Like my grandmother crocheted. I still have the blanket she made for me when I was born. My mother crocheted. And they all do different crafts as well. Like my mother really loves to cross stitch, and I have one of her cross stitch samplers hanging up on my wall over there. My grandmother made beaded jewelry. She made porcelain dolls. It's just they tried out all of the crafts, and then my mom took time to teach my sister and I, and she tried to teach my brothers, but they just weren't as interested. And we tried out a bunch of different crafts. Like she taught me how to quilt, how to sew, how to crochet, and a bunch of other stuff. And crocheting just really stuck. I honestly don't remember when she taught me to crochet because I was really young. So I've been doing it for, I don't know, a really long time. And it's always just been one of those things that when I feel overwhelmed or stressed by what's happening in my life, it's something I've always just kind of gone back to. And it's always been one of those things. I'm a busy person. I like to be doing stuff. And so I can't just sit and watch a show. I need to be doing something. So it's always been a way to keep my hands busy and just kind of a release of emotion or a release of stress. And it just helps me to focus on other things when I need to.
I remember when I first learned to crochet, I actually did not pick it up really because I hated it.
Oh, yeah.
I was so bad at it. I actually had a friend of mine do it because my school had at the end of the year, we had this whole projects we would have to share with our families, come see the whole thing. And I had one of my friends make my projects for me.
Oh my God. Well, see, that's me with sewing. Like my mom also tried to teach me to sew, and I wasn't great at it. I tried. And at one point, I had my daughter, and I was like, I'm gonna make her some doll clothes for her baby doll because I have this scrap fabric laying around from some other thing. And so I tried, and I gave her the little dress, and she looked at me, she goes, "Oh, Mommy, thank you. You'll get better after you do it more."
Oh my God.
She was like 3 or something, and I was just like, never doing this again. My 3-year-old knows it's not that good. I'm never doing this again.
Even children are so honest, seriously. It's like if
they are.
Oh my God. When my niece tells me, go ahead, Tatsy, you're doing such a great job. Oh, do this, Tatsy. I'm like, at least I know she's not lying. At least I know.
That's true. That is very true. Okay, so funny story that's slightly beside the topic. I made something and I didn't weave in the ends because I hate doing that. And I have some projects I still haven't done, and they've been done for a while. Anyway, so my husband was pretending, he was leading her on and just playing with her, my oldest daughter, who's about 6 now. And he was like, "Yeah, I made this hat." She's like, "No, you didn't. You don't crochet. Mom does that." And he goes, "No, I made this one for myself. Didn't I do a good job?" She goes, you didn't make it. And he's like, yes, I did. Look, the ends aren't woven in. She goes, oh, you did make it. Mom would never not weave her ends. And I was like, well,
if only you knew, my child.
Like, I have a blanket that I did a color work. It's this huge, beautiful color work blanket. And if you look at the back, I didn't weave in any of the ends because I was so rushed to finish it. And it looks like a shag carpet on the backside because there's so many ends. Just,
I think my
it's
thing
so
is
bad.
not even the ends. I just leave stitch markers into my like finished items. Like this top I'm wearing, I still have like a
Yes.
stitch marker in it, and I
Oh.
don't know. Like
That's great.
this one behind me, and I've worn that one in public so many times. I don't know how many stitch markers I still have in there because I'm
Oh my
missing a few.
goodness.
It's just
No,
like I just leave them in there.
I lose mine all the time, or I just don't use them. And then I would get like halfway through a project and I'm like, you know what would have been nice here? If I'd marked my stitches.
It's like that. I'm glad I'm not the only one. I'm just like, or when I'm taking pictures, I just like I'm talking in the ends that I haven't woven in yet. So I'm like, I have
Yes.
ends like to. I'm like,
Yes.
this is just
I
wrong.
totally do that.
This is just wrong. I could just hide do everything the right way, and I wouldn't have to.
Or like I'm like arranging my plant. I do the same thing with my plants. I'm like, I want this plant in the picture, and I'm like, but that part looks really dead. So let's see if I can not get that part in the shot.
I want to be a plant mom, but I just know I can't. I just know I won't keep them alive long enough.
Right.
So,
That's okay. It's like most things. I think there are some people who just are so passionate about it, they do really well. And then there's people like me who like really want to have plants, and so they buy them and then slowly watch enough YouTube videos about them to slightly figure out what they're doing for some plants. Like not that one in the windowsill. It's not gonna make it. It looks pretty bad. I keep forgetting to water it because it's down here and there's no running water down here. So I'd have to take it upstairs to water it, which, shouldn't be that hard. But yeah, it's like, a lot of things I think people psych themselves out like, oh, I can't do that. But anyone can. It's just you got to know where your priorities are. And if it's not a high priority, that's fine.
It's not going to be a high priority in my life. That plant
That's okay.
Like, seriously. I'm so shocked my vegetable garden made it this year. And I'm like, it's because it's outside and it's raining a lot. That's the only reason why I know I have vegetable this year.
It's not been raining here and it's been really hot. And my husband's like, every spring you do all this work in our garden and then it gets to July and you're like, nah, I'm done. And then everything fries. And I'm like, well,
you guys didn't
you're not wrong.
Last night?
We didn't. It hasn't rained in like a week.
Oh my God. Last night it just started like downpouring out of the blue.
We have gotten a lot of clouds come through, but we haven't gotten any rain.
Oh, that's interesting.
So we must be getting just like whatever the tail end, or maybe we're sending the rain to
maybe
you.
Maybe you're sending the rain down to us because I don't get it.
I know, because we're not that far apart. One of these days we'll have to like get together, in person when that's allowed again.
One day I was like daydreaming about projects and stuff. And I was like, you know what? Rebecca and I could make something together and we could meet halfway in between. Like I even looked the halfway point between Richmond and Norfolk.
Oh, you don't have to. I'm pretty sure there's an IKEA in Norfolk. I'll come for that too.
It's literally down the street from me.
That's so awesome. No, we love IKEA stuff. And I know that sounds crazy. Like I'm supposed to be a grown-up and have like grown-up furniture, but like IKEA has so many clever organizing solutions that I just love it. And I can't get enough of it. So my office has a ton of IKEA stuff in it.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go there to organize my office, especially after you go over everything you're going to go discuss today. No, because I was talking to my sister. I'm like, guess who I'm having on there? She's like, who? I'm like, Rebecca. She's like, oh my God, that girl had me taking notes during your life.
Oh, well, that's good. I'm glad it helps some people. The truth is, I am the least naturally organized human like that exists. Like if you talk to people who know me well, the words they describe me are messy, not tidy, or chaos. Just
Is it
chaos.
organized chaos though?
No, I know where everything is, but it's not organized. And the truth is, I have learned that that it's not necessarily about what your natural inclination is. It's about learning how to work with your tendencies to create a system that works for you. So for me, if I organized my office in baskets, in little storage boxes, it would not work for me. If I can't see it, it doesn't exist in my mind. Like once you close it up, it's gone. So all of my organization has to be in a way I can see it. That's why I have the big blackboards or the whiteboards here. I told Philip, my husband, he was like, what do you need to help you make your business a success? He's like, I want to support you in this. And so I said, I need super visual ways to organize my processes.
Okay.
Very visual things. And so he got me a giant calendar that's erasable. It's actually made out of glass, so it will never stain. It'll last forever. And it does. It helps me a lot because I can see what's going on. I don't have to pull out a book. I don't have to take an extra second to pull things out. I could just look up and there's all my reminders of what I need to do. And I color code everything.
Update that.
Once a month. Because it's a 1 month calendar. So I should actually next week, I will go through and redo it for July. So or for August. So what I have is, I have my book that I always use. This is the, Rocket Book. Where's my camera? There it is. Rocket Book Fusion.
Oh, it may show that you can erase.
You can erase.
And it sends you some date, like something on that.
Yes, I wish I had a better way to show you, but what I have is, where's my camera again? Here we go. August. So here I have my August schedule, and then I will take this and here, I'll show it up bigger. I can never remember where my camera is on this thing. So here's my August schedule, and I'll have this all written out, and at the bottom I put extra notes and things, and I will move all of this onto the whiteboard when it's time for me to really be paying attention to August and keeping up with what's going on in August. And I do everything color coded. So on the next page, I have more details about everything that's in the planner, and it's color coded by what's going on. So for this month, the blue color is the patterns that I need to start making so they're ready for publishing in September. The pink stuff is current things that I'm planning to have up on the blog this month. The green stuff is everything I need to have ready for the Etsy shop. And then I will sometimes actually, if there's something important going on that I need to remember, like my daughter is having a tonsillectomy in August. So I'll have that on there so I don't forget things like that. And I'll have a color that's for family. Because I'm so visual, I need those visual reminders of what's going on. I can just look up and I say, I need to think about what's going on the blog today. So I could just look up and I look for the pink. That's what's going on the blog today. And stuff like that.
You use the same color every day, every time for specific. That's nice. I like that.
So if you see here, oh goodness, again, remembering where my camera is. Where is it? Pink. I have the pink here. And that's the stuff that's going to go up on the blog. And I'm going to try and turn this around so you can see the whiteboard.
Okay.
Here. That's the whiteboard. And you'll see I have pink is my blog posts. So it's the same. And then blue are my whips, my work in progress. And then green, here I have the green color, and it's also in my notebook, is what I'm working on for the Etsy shop. So I always have, the colors are the same. So I always know which color to look at to, when I need to find something.
Okay. So
I also have.
Go ahead.
Oh, I said I also just have a million markers because all of the rainbow markers. So I have highlighters and pens, and these are the friction pens that work with this book. So you have to have the specific pens so that you can erase them. And I have rainbow Sharpies. I have different color rainbow markers for my board, stuff like that. And when you're done, let me see if I find a page I can erase for you. So let's see. I'm just going to erase this section here. Can you see it? There we go. It's kind of like blinded, but there we go. Yeah, right here. I just take a little water. It's just like from the travel section at Target. I'm almost out. And you just spray it. And then you have a cloth. And it just cleans out.
Oh my God.
And then it comes with an app on your phone. And then at the bottom, where is it here? There's a QR code and all these little symbols. And you program the app for what each symbol you want it to go. So when you would check mark, say, I want to send this, I want it to transcribe my notes into an email. So it'll take whatever I hand wrote and make it text and email it to me. I would just mark the one that I said. So here we go. There. So I marked the one that will send it to my email. Or I can mark it to say, take a photo of this page and email me just a photo. I can mark that one for that. Or I want a PDF of this uploaded to the pattern notes folder in my Google Drive. I'll mark that one, you know. So then you just scan it and it automatically does all of those processes and sends it to where you've decided based on what you marked at the bottom. So I only have one notebook, so I'm not sorting through, you know, because we all have too many notebooks.
Yeah, I have a notebook for my notes, like just regular notes. I have a notebook for my patterns. I have a notebook now for podcasts. And I have my regular, because I do like writing my plan for the week in a planner. And I feel like I have to grab different things at all the time, and it just drives me crazy sometimes.
And that's one of the benefit of this is like you can say, let's see, I'm trying to pull up the planner page. Wait, it's back there. So they have like a weekly planner. It's a 2-week planner. So there's 2 pages with a week planner on it. You can fill it out, and then you could screenshot, you could, you know, scan it and have it. Then you can fill out each one as many times as you want, and then you have a folder in your Google Drive that's all of your planned out weeks. Or you could, you know, I don't actually do that too much because I like to be able to just see it. So, but it also helps you keep track of what you've done. It has a lot of, this particular version has a lot of really helpful pages about planning your tasks, and you have like, what are your objectives? It has a whole section where you fill out what are your objectives for this month? What results do you want to see from your objectives, and how are you going to do that? And I like that because it really helps me say, okay, my goal this month is to increase traffic to my website. I'm going to do that by increasing the amount of time I spend on Tailwind and Pinterest. And then it helps you to organize all of that in a very easy way. I also like that it has lots of blank pages. So one thing you can do, something I've been planning to do but I haven't done yet, is you can take a Sharpie, you just, not an erasable marker, just a Sharpie, and you can draw a design or words or something on that, and it stays. It won't erase if you draw on it with a Sharpie. So only do it if you want it to stay. But what I've been wanting to do is do the whole graph that I do when I grade patterns, is I draw out a graph of the sizes and the inches, and then I multiply that by the stitches per inch in my gauge swatch. And then I can just I would do a graph that has the sizes across the top, and then the body measurements, like bust, neck to waist, tunic length, etc., and then have all the inches filled in, and all of that done in Sharpie. And then I can fill in, using my gauge swatch, how many stitches I need for each section of that. And I can erase the stitches each time, but the graph will always be there. So then I don't have to redraw my graph, because I always do it by hand. I know there's better ways to do it, but it just makes sense for me to do it by hand. I really like the tactile feeling of handwriting things out. It just helps me to really process what's going on. But that's another way I use my Rocketbook. And it helps me to just stay on top of things, because, like I said, I'm not a naturally organized person, but I find that if I don't take just a few minutes here and there to lay a foundation of things that work with how my brain works, everything falls apart. Things start falling between the cracks. You start like, oh, I said I was going to review this product and I still haven't done that. Or I'm supposed to do this, but I totally forgot. Or what pattern did I say I was going to publish this week? And the stuff just falls between the cracks, especially for someone who's really busy, which I'm pretty sure everyone is really busy right now. Like, I don't think, sorry, something was popping up there. I don't think anybody is complaining about having too much free time right now, or at least most of us aren't. I feel like I'm just drowning in stuff sometimes between helping my sister planning her wedding, and then doing the blog, and then just starting the Etsy shop and staying on top of having new products come in. And then, of course, I have 4 kids, and then my dog is, having seizures, and I've had a lot of scheduled things for him and figure out what's going on with him. It's just a lot of stuff to keep up with. And so when you have that visual, for me, it's very visual organization. It helps me to see at a glance what's expected of me, so I can stay on top of those things. So if that makes sense.
I do, because if you can see here in this corner, that's where I remember from your live when you said something about the glass one. So I have this glass here. That's temporary until I actually get a glass planner. But that's why I started to do, so I can visually see what I'm doing for that week or that day or for that month. And I actually, on the second one, that's where I have all the collaborations, all the projects I do want to work on. And
that's fantastic.
Per month, I want to release them, so I can know, okay, I should be working, if I want this sweater released at this time, because I have these 2 other projects I want to work with, I should start working on it now. So actually right now I'm working on something I'm going to be releasing later in the fall already now, because I have something else I need to work on for November.
Yes, I am working on the all fall stuff at this point. And I have this second board, is this one over here, is this black one, which he thought it would be cool, because my husband bought these for me to have a black and white one. And this board is where I keep all of just like my running, it's just like a brain dump board. I'll see if I can straighten that out and tilt it up some. It's just a brain dump. Like, I have a whole list of pattern ideas, random, like, don't forget to work through. I'm in the CBA, the Crochet Business Academy. It's been really helpful, but don't forget to do this. And it's where I just keep, whenever something comes to my mind, I just come and put it on this board. And it's just like a running brain dump. And then as I get further into doing things, I'll come and put dates by them, so I make sure I go through and I check off, okay, I've ordered yarn for this. Okay, I've taken this step on this one. And it helps me to stay better organized on those things.
Okay. I also use Trello for that. So
I know, I've heard so many good things about that. My husband picks on me because I'm struggling to embrace all of the techie program things, and it's because it's that out of sight thing. I can't see Trello. It's not staring at me.
I do get that, but that's why I use my board as well, so I can see what I'm working on, and then I go in Trello, and that's where I have it broken down into smaller tasks. So I know on my board I need to work with on the sweater now, so I'm working on the sweater now. But if I go on my Trello, and on there I have different boards. Trello is literally what they should have called Pinterest, because seriously. So I go in there, I'll go on my board, my private board, because I have a board where I put all the collabs I'm doing, a board for now that I'm getting the intern, so I have a board for her. But what I'll do is I'll go in there and I'll just click on, okay, this stop. If I have a name for it, I'll just write the name there and I click on it and it'll give me a list of all the steps I need to do before I publish it. So that means doing tailwinds, that means writing the pattern, doing the corrections in the pattern, call for testers, every single test so that I don't miss anything. I'll just go ahead and check them as I'm working on it there. And I know it's repetitive, but I take those notes as well and move them in my weekly planner so that
that's great.
I put it in there because I do like touching the pen and paper and checking it off on my paper in my planner. So I do that. I'll go and say, okay, this is what I need to work on. I'll put it in my planner. I'll check it off as I work on it in my planner for that week as well.
That's really great. And I feel like that sort of repetition, like doing it a couple of times too, really helps cement things in your mind, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, a teacher say, you know, repetition is the key to learning. I have heard that so many times. My husband is a teacher. So he's always like, repetition is the key to learning. And so I think that's great. Like that sort of being able to repeat a task helps it to really stay present in your mind.
So how do you organize your finished projects?
That's fun. I organize them by how big they are.
Okay.
That's the real key here is how bulky is it? Like I have one spot where I mostly make shawls and garments and hats. So women's accessories and wearables is generally what I make. And I imagine if you're making something very different, you would have a different organization style than what I do. So I'll turn my camera here some so we can look at this some. So here's my office/yarn room creative space. Let's see. We're going to start.
Before you say anything, I'm going to steal a lot of your ideas just because I feel like we make a lot of the same things. Like,
yeah, no, go for it.
Wearable. So, because right now this is my storage for my outfit, and I have a closet where I literally threw everything else in there. So
I understand that. I don't have a closet in here, but that really works for me because, like I said before, I really love visual storage, which, like, you know, I have all my tools are right here where I can see them. Nothing is hidden. All my yarn is where I can see it. Yes, people. That is all of my yarn. That's it. That's one of my keys to staying organized is don't have more than you can keep track of. If you have too much, then you'll lose track of it. All right, turning over here. It's a hard lesson to learn. I learned it when we lived in a really tiny house. And so we just had to keep everything small. So this is where I keep, there we go. This is where I keep all of the shawls. Let's see, maybe I'll stand up and go over here. So this is it's a scarf organizer from IKEA. The tag's up there, I just can't see it. So we have these 2 garment bars that go across this room. They were here when we moved in. And I have this thing hung up here and I just hang all my shawls. So I have I have about 2 rows of them here. I'm sure I have more of these. Oh, yeah, I have like a couple of them stacked upstairs on my dresser because I wore them or I was photographing them recently. So this is where I keep all of my light things like shawls and scarves. And then, let's see, I'm going to tilt this down just a hair so we can go. We have a black bin down here. Let's see, right here. That thing is just a faux leather ottoman that I got on Amazon, and we were using it for something else, but then my kids tore it up. So now it's here where it will, you know, have a happy life. That's where I keep bulky things like big sweaters, blankets, things like that. And then up here on this shelf, I have baskets, and that's where I keep small things like hats, finished hats, things like that. And they all go in the baskets. I hang all of my projects. I have 3 hooks on that thing, and I only keep 3 running projects at a time. Okay, roughly 3 running projects at a time. Let's be honest. Sometimes you start stuff and you're just like, oh, whoops, I didn't just start that now. But generally 3 running projects. Because if I do more than that, I don't have time to work on all 3 of them efficiently, is what I have found with the amount of time I have to crochet. And I choose my projects based on how complicated they are. and what time of day I can work on them. For instance, I am working on this, which is just moss stitch, and it will have color work, and it will be a really big hug you cocoon. You know, I'm gonna have a big collar that just wrap up in cocoon, and it's easy. I mean, it's moss stitch. Who can't do that in their sleep? Or at least a lot of us can. So that's the one I do when I'm distracted. Like the kids are playing and they don't have to be super involved, but I need to be like making sure they're not getting into stuff. Or like, you know, we wanted to watch a movie and I kind of want to know what happens in it. So that's an easy project I can do. And then when I have free time, when it's just me, like when the kids are napping and it's quiet, I can work on a slightly more advanced, challenging type thing, like a lace shawl or something like that. So I base them on what times I have to work, and I usually crochet in the evenings or in the afternoon when my kids are sleeping. So I pick my whips based on how challenging they are, and I only have one complicated, complex pattern going at a time. Otherwise, it just all kind of falls apart. I don't get anything done.
I think this quarantine was the first time I was working on multiple projects at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And I can tell you I hated it. Like, I hated it.
I understand that.
I don't feel like I'm giving each project the energy and the time that they deserve, because I'm working on one thing and then I realize that, oh my God, this is due now. I need to finish this one.
Right.
So I need to abandon the other two to work on it. So I just hated that. I think I'm going back to working on one project, and I need to learn to take on less work than I can provide, because there's only one.
Yes.
Nobody planned for the whole COVID-19 thing to happen.
Right. You got to give yourself grace.
But it just threw me off a loop. And I'm like, I have more time at home now. I should be able to work on more. And I'm working on less things now just because I'm home and I have so much more to do at home.
Right. No, and I totally get that. And I think that's one of the things I think is very important with just life, but also with organizing and with staying on top of projects, is you just have to give yourself grace. Nobody is going to get it right all the time, 100% of the time. Like we were talking a little bit earlier, you know, just you and I. You messaged me about talking about organizing, and I was like, I've been a mess since this whole, like, you know, I've usually, because like I've said before, I'm not a supernatural, it's not my natural inclination to go and sort in order, because I like to be able to see everything, and being visual and having things out doesn't normally look neat. A lot of people just think, oh, she has everything out, she's messy. But if I can't see it, it's like it's not there for my mind. It's just the way my brain works. But it is like, then you that motivated me to be like, you know, it's been a while since I've really sat and worked through and cleaned out my notebook and cleaned out and reorganized everything and put my processes back into place that have helped me be successful. And I have been feeling like, I'm sure many of us have, this whole year has just been a struggle. And it's fine. Like, that's okay. We don't have to like thrive like this amazing, beautiful plant when there's not any water. Like, we can shrivel up a little. It's okay. But, you know, but the reverse side of that is when things do start to, like, you know, recover, when we do start to, you know, settle in, and, you know, we get that little bit of a breather where we need it. It's good to learn to adjust and to make the changes where they need to, so you can begin to thrive again. Like, give yourself grace to recover, and don't stay in a state of, oh, well, this is just all falling apart, why should I try? Like, I think that just contributes to more anxiety. So it's good to take the opportunities to challenge yourself and to try to thrive in adverse situations. But it's also super important to give yourself grace when you need it, and don't beat yourself up when things fall apart sometimes.
That's one thing I still need to learn to do, because right now I'm still under, oh my God, Elizabeth, you need to get your life together. Because this whole thing just knocked you off and you just came home.
Hmm.
Because I bought my house
Right.
during COVID. I
Oh,
moved
wow.
into my house in April. So COVID, like, quarantine was just starting. And I just came back in the state in March, like the first week of March, came back and started working, and they're like, oh, by the way, you guys went through all these countries. You have to quarantine now. I'm like,
Right.
what is that? What is this quarantine thing? What am I
Right.
doing? They're like, you're gonna be staying in, and somebody, a medical personnel, is gonna be calling you every morning to make sure you're okay. I'm like, wow. So we were really the first group that they actually put on a quarantine.
Oh, wow.
For me, it was just like, okay, now I'm trying to finish closing on my house. I'm trying to adjust being back in
Hmm.
the US after being gone for almost over a year.
Right. And
And
that's an adjustment.
exactly. So it's just like, it was rough. And I feel like that just messed up everything for me, because I had projects I was working on and
Right.
I was ahead of time in them. And then by the time everything happened, I don't
It
know.
does. It really sets you back because you have to, like, it's shock. It's like you're just like, what is happening and why is this
Exactly.
happening right now? And that's okay to have those reactions. It's totally fine. If you want advice, the only thing I say is pick one thing to succeed at right now. That's how you get back on track. When you fall off the wagon and everything falls apart, pick one small thing to succeed at. And that feeling you get of success, of like, I did it, I did the one thing, will motivate you to take another thing to be
Mhm.
successful at. So, like, if I just let it all fall apart, like the yarn's falling out of the bins because my toddler came through and was like, I want to squish it all. Or like, I take a bunch of my projects out to photograph them and I got distracted and didn't put them away right away. Or I haven't cleaned out my books in a while and things are just like coming in at you. Pick one thing. I made my bed this morning and that just makes you feel good. Or like, I cleaned out my planner and I got it ready for the next month. And it makes you feel good that you got that one thing done and it makes you want to do more things. And instead of trying to um, just think of all the things you need to get done, just pick one thing. And then once you take that one step, it makes it easier to take on more and more. And then you start developing and getting back into the routines of being organized or being in those routines that help you get your processes done. But if you, at least in my experience, if you try to be like, okay, I'm going to take this whole day and I'm going to do everything and get it all fixed, you get like 2 minutes in, you're like, just kidding, I'm going to go get some more
Exactly.
coffee.
This is not gonna work out for me.
Because it's overwhelming. It's just too much to tackle, when you're already feeling overwhelmed.
Mhm.
So, and everybody gets like those times when you're overwhelmed, you're a little bit burned out. And so, what has helped me is like embrace the time of rest as a needful and productive thing. You
Mhm.
don't have to be working to be productive. Sometimes the most productive thing you can do is to rest, and that's okay, and that's good. It's good for you to rest your mind because we are, as creatives, we're constantly like, just, it's a constant stream of ideas and trying to just
Exactly.
create the next new design that's different from
And
all the other designs, and that's
yesterday I
taxing.
had to do that, because yesterday I was looking at my planner and I'm like, I woke up and I was on the phone. I don't remember, was it my cousin or my sister? My family is my friends. Seriously, my siblings,
Right.
they are my friends. I don't have really that many friends outside of my family. So I
Oh, I
was
totally get that.
with either my sister or my cousin. I was telling them, like, I really don't feel like doing anything today, but I have so much to do. And and she was like, you know what, just go to bed.
Yeah.
So I spent the day in bed yesterday. I just watched Disney Plus the whole day. I got up, I took a
Yeah.
bath because I wanted, because I'm like, you know what? I've had this tub in this house since I moved in, and I always wanted to take a bath in it. So I took a bath. I went back.
I know, I totally get that. I'm the person who's like, who has time for a whole bath? I need to get a shower and get it over with.
Exactly.
I've got things to do.
So I was like, yesterday, I was like, and this morning when I woke up, I was more into okay, let's do this. Let's get this and let's get that done. Because
Yes.
I took the time to actually give myself a break.
Yes, and it's so important. I try to make sure I have a day, at least one day every week, where I don't even look at Instagram. I don't look at Pinterest. I don't look at I'll crochet still, because I don't crochet just because I'm a crochet designer. I crochet because I like to. It's fun. So, but there is a day, I always take at least one day a week where I'm just like, I'm not working today. Today I'm going to play with my kids. Today I'm going to just do what little bit of tidying needs to be done around the house to keep it at a maintained level that is not driving me crazy. And just stuff like that. And I think once a week seems like a lot to some people to take a day off, because as, I guess, entrepreneurs and kind of self-employed business owners like us, we're doing all of the things. Exactly. And so we can easily find our identity in what we're doing for our business, but that's not where it is. I mean, it's part of who we are, and it's part of what we do, and we really pour our souls into it, which is, that's, I think, what makes some of them so successful, is it's just such a representation of who you are as a person. But, you have to rest from that, and give yourself a break. And it's the same with organizing. You can take a break sometimes, and that's fine.
I think I've been taking a break from organizing since I moved in.
Moving is hard. I will confess, we moved in here, I think it was 2 years ago. We're going on 3 years. I still have, I think, 4 boxes that I have not unpacked. Obviously, I don't need those things.
I mean, 3 years and they're still in the box. So
it's books. They're like old. They're they're just like some books and stuff. And they're books that I'd like to have for when my kids are older. They were books that I had as a kid, or my husband had as a kid, and my kids aren't at that reading level yet. But they're books I'd like them to read eventually. But I haven't put them anywhere. They're just still in boxes. So that's all the book people out there don't come for me. I'm sorry. They're still in boxes.
You're keeping them.
Yeah, I know I could probably get them all online now or something, but there's something so beautifully tactile about holding a book and smelling a book. I love books.
I get that. I used to have a Nook when Nooks just came out, and I was like, this is not the same.
No. I do have some that I use my e-reader for, like a cookbook. I don't need a physical cookbook. I don't, because I don't like cooking that much. I don't like, I do. I'm not a bad cook, so my family says. I just don't enjoy it. I'm
just trying to stay getting fed. So
yeah, I'm like, here's food. What are we having for dinner? Chicken, rice, and mixed veggies. Again, what did you think we were gonna have? And my sister's staying with us, and she's like, you guys eat the same thing all the time. I'm like, I hate cooking. Let's just eat what's easy. No, I have other things that I'm good at. Right?
Exactly. No, it's okay. We can't be great at everything.
Everything. Exactly. We can't. So I think we're totally off topic at this point. But
we are. So let's just bring it back to planning. So talk to me how you plan your projects, from beginning to releasing your project.
It's honestly very, I don't know, I'll say it's very abstract. I do things I'm a very on a whim person. I use the word whimsical about my patterns a lot. And a lot of times I'll see something and I'll be like, I want to make one of those. The asymmetrical hat I designed a hat that has a brim that comes at an angle instead of just a straight brim around. And I had seen a Pinterest pin about a knit hat, and it had that asymmetrical brim. And it was not a knitting pattern or anything. It was something that was some
A
ad for
store was
some
selling. Yeah.
store. And I had never seen it before. I'd never seen one that shape or that style. And I was like, I'm gonna make one of those. And so I have to right then, or it's gone. Like, I have to act on the inspiration when I have it. That's just the sort of person I am. So there are some things that, like, I plan out, and like, I need to make this sort of pattern for this season. But generally, there's a combination of that, like, okay, each month I try to put out one kind of bigger pattern and one easy, smaller pattern, because I can balance the time I spend working on them that way. And so I'm like, okay, so for September, for August, I'm doing like back to school type patterns is what I'm putting out. Whether or not we're going back to school, we could still like
The virtual
have a
school
thing.
now.
Yes. I think our school is still going to be in session, but we go, my husband teaches for a private school, so my kids go with him. So it's small classroom sizes. That helps a lot. But what was I thinking? I lost my train of thought. Oh, back to school type stuff. So what I'm doing is, I thought, what would be a fun, it needs to be for September, was like, it needs to be like a blend of, or August, September, it needs to still not be too heavy to work on, but it needs to be getting that transition into fall. So I'm doing a cotton cocoon sweater that will be that cozy, like,
Oh, okay.
early morning walk to school. It's still fashionable, but you really don't want to be out of bed, let's be honest. You're like, I want something to kind of comfort me for having to get up this early. That was kind of my idea with this pattern. So it's like, it's made out of bulky cotton. I have it here.
Which bulky cotton are you using? Because that one looks like, is it the Knit Picks one?
It is a Knit Picks one. This is
I think
Billow.
I have that one. Yes, I have that one in the turmeric. It's so beautiful, but I never know what to make with it.
So I have it in these two colors, the Comfrey and Tea Rose. I don't remember. Something with tea in it. And it's going to, I've just started it here. It's going to fade. So it'll fade from this one to the dark one. And then it'll be like a pull it over, because it's pretty big. It'll come, I'm short, so it'll come almost to my knees in the back at the longest point. You know, cocoons have that like drape. So it'll be pretty long on me. That's one thing that I struggle with communicating to people. Like, this is how it looks on me. I'm small. I'm really short. It might be shorter on you. Here's how you can make it longer. But so I have that, and that's just like a early morning crochet pattern. I mean, like, to wear garment. The other thing, like I don't know, I'm just not a morning person. And it's just like, I like to wear stuff that's just like, I'm sorry you have to wake up right now. Here's something comfortable.
Congratulations for making it out of bed. Here's your trophy.
Basically. Yeah, that was like my idea with this pattern. And the other thing I'm working on for August is how to yarn punk a denim vest.
Oh my God. It's like you're reading my mind. I've always
somebody gave me
those.
Somebody gave me a denim vest, and it was just like, it didn't fit quite the way I wanted it to, and it was actually a denim jacket that somebody had cut the sleeves off. So it was like, had this extra bit of fabric where the sleeve was that was really frayed up and stuff. And I was like, I should totally do something with this. So I ordered the Cotton Reflections yarn from We Crochet. And it's this it's cotton and linen, I think. That's why it's called Cotton, obviously.
I have used the Kotlin. I think I've used it for this one. Yes.
Okay.
It was made with Kotlin. The copper.
And the Kotlin Reflections is like all white, and it's supposed to be a take on like the indigo shibori type dyeing. So, which I think is really interesting. So it's got these like speckles of just denim on white.
Oh,
And so that's what I'm going to use. And I'm planning to make a really dramatic sleeves for it. And I feel like that's what we want for a back to school outfit, right? Something that just stands out as unique and cool.
exactly. Because
And
everybody wants
so,
to remember the first day of school
yeah,
outfit.
like everyone's like the first day of school outfit. So I'm making the like, I'm sorry you had to wake up this early sweater. And I'm making the let's make a statement on the first day of school, or, you know, the first day back to your kitchen table, whichever it is. Um, so yeah, that's what I'm doing for my 2 back to school styles. So I knew that I needed, so for October, I'm thinking, well, it's, or no, September is the next month that it comes after August also. so, um, so for September, I am doing, I'm going to get back into doing some smaller projects. I have some hat patterns I'm looking at doing. And I have a cowl that's called the Spumelia cowl, and I'll be making a hat that matches that.
Mm-hmm.
And for the fall months, September and October, I'll be doing more accessories type stuff because I'm gearing up for a fundraiser in November where I'll be selling a lot of my finished works and things to help raise money for an adoption for someone who's very close to me. And
That's
and
nice.
a lot of the people who would want to donate to the adoption aren't necessarily interested in like crochet patterns because they don't crochet.
True.
So I'm not normally the person who sells my finished makes. That's not, I don't like making the same thing over and over again, but I'm going to be making some patterns that I can use to like to stock this sale that I'm doing for a fundraiser. So we'll be doing a lot of hats and going into those classic fall wearables. I'm tempted to do leg warmers, but like, is that too old school?
I feel like
That's
I
still
always
cool.
want to make them. I see them and I'm like, oh my God, that's so cute. I would wear that. But I'm like, would you really wear it though? Do you just think it's cute because you saw it on Pinterest and it looks nice on it?
Right?
I don't know if people still wear
I
leg
used to
warmers.
have a pair that I wore all the time, and then I wore them out and I never got another pair. So part of me is like, I would wear them because I was totally that person who did. But so that's what I do. Sometimes I find a yarn that I'm just like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I need to make something with this. This is so cool. I have a notebook where I have a running, it's an actual notebook, where I have a running list of sketches for
Okay.
different design ideas. And so if I'm feeling uninspired, I'll just flip through my notebook and pull out a design to work on.
I have this one here. Oh, where's my camera? Now I'm looking for my camera. I have this one here. It's called the Fashionery. That's the one I use for my drawings and stuff because I love it. It has all of these drawing
Oh,
ideas.
cool.
Like it gives you everything you need. I need to show you this side. Mac,
Yeah.
they have all the sizes and stuff, and it has
Oh, that's
everything
fantastic.
for that in it. So, and it even has like the color stuff in there. So if you want to
That's
buy
really
different
cool.
colors, it has it. It has for hats as well, bags, shoes. It has everything. It's like
Oh,
a
wow, that's
fashion.
really cool.
It has the fashion dictionary at the beginning of it. And what I really, the reason why I bought it really was, where is this thing? Because it gives you these, I don't know if you can see them. They're so fit.
Not
Can you
quite.
see the shape
Yeah.
of the body? So you can draw. So that's how I draw ideas on there. So this is the idea for the top I'm about to release right now. The
Oh,
cover top.
fun.
The one. So I drew like 3 different ideas for it until I
Yes.
decide which one I want to do. So this is what I use. I draw all my ideas in this one.
That's really cool. I'll have to like get a link to that from you or something because that's really cool. I just have like a notebook, you know, lined paper, boring old notebook, that I sketch little ideas. I'm not a great artist when it comes to like drawing, so they're really rough sketches that just I can interpret what I was talking about with them, but they're not really easy. I think most people will look at that and be like, oh, that's a thing.
Nice. I love when they say, oh, that's nice. And you're like, okay,
You're like,
sure.
we'll try that one again. Maybe not. No, I totally get that. Yeah. So yeah, it's that's kind of how I do. I just like I know I want these sort of projects. And
Mm-hmm.
it's something I planned out the summer ahead of time, and I haven't done my fall planning in detail. Like I have some vague ideas of what I want to do. I have like a list of random patterns here on my board that I want to think about making. Um, but one of my goals for this week is to really sit down and plan out 2 patterns per month that I'll be putting up on that I'll be publishing through the fall and into the beginning of the winter, and then go ahead and start ordering yarn for those and getting
Okay.
them like so I can get a feel for the yarn, get an idea, because sometimes patterns take me longer than I'd like to admit. Sometimes I'm like it works fast, like this one with the cocoon with the cotton, that one has just gone so smoothly. But I have this other one as a shawl that I have nicknamed the pattern of doom. I have just been working on it since like February, and I'm still just like I keep frogging it. It's just like not clicking.
Do you
And
ever abandon a pattern if it's just not
yes,
working for you?
that's what I ended up doing. Was I have just completely scrapped the original idea.
Mm-hmm.
It was like going to be it was such a great idea, but the math was not happening. And then with the chaos of what my house has been like for the last few months, there was no chance for me to really sit down and hash out the math. So I've just scrapped it completely, and I'm doing something different with the yarn.
Okay. So,
Because you can't, yeah, go ahead.
no, go ahead. Because you
I was
can't.
say you just can't burn energy on something that's not happening. Sometimes
That
you just
is
gotta
true.
figure like this isn't worth the energy I'm putting into it.
Exactly. So for me, like I said, I use my Trello for planning a project. So my projects usually go for like I'll get an idea. So usually, like the other
Right.
day, I was working. I had this stop forever, and I was wearing it to go work out because I work out now
Hmm.
apparently with my so. I was wearing it, and I was going downstairs because I work out and because I use WhatsApp to do a
Oh, that's
video
cool.
workout with my sister and my cousin because my sister lives in Belgium, my cousin lives in New Jersey, but we still want to work out together, so we video call each other to
That's so
work out
cool.
together. Um, so I was wearing it and I loved, and I, for some reason, I was like, oh my God, I love the back of this. I should include that in my next design.
Yes, that's
So,
yeah. So like I'll see stuff on Pinterest, or I'll be shopping and be like, oh, that's interesting,
mm-hmm.
and you find ways to incorporate those into designs,
So
definitely. Or
that's
you see like a stitch tutorial pops up, and you're like, oh, that's
exactly.
so
I
cool.
need to make something with that. So I was like,
Exactly.
I need to, that's usually how I get my ideas. I see something, I start working on it, I'll do a swatch, and I
Hmm.
usually end up hating the first one. And then I'll do 5 more and I'll go back to the first one I created because
Exactly. Every time.
I just like it. And then I'll start working on it. And usually, most of the time, I end up finishing them, publishing them. But lately, I've been realizing that a lot of my patterns, I'm not connecting with the yarn as much as I
Yes.
used to. If I don't like the yarn as much, then I don't
Hmm.
end up liking the finished product. Because if I feel like if I don't enjoy the finished
Yes.
product, I can't promote it. I can say, oh my God, look at this new top I made. And I
Yes,
hate
I
it.
100% feel you on that. My earbuds are slipping. Yeah, no, I totally feel you on that, because that's kind of I think is why I've slowed down a lot on designing the last few months is I have just struggled to really connect with my projects. I've struggled to feel inspired just because, it's one of those seasons where I feel like everybody's a little overwhelmed, and that's okay. And I've been a little overwhelmed too. I mean, we went from like I had a baby, and then like within a month we were like locked down, and so that's a
Exactly.
lot. Like I was just
Hmm.
starting to feel normal after having the baby when things just went crazy again, and then it was like, oh, now I have to figure out how to homeschool, or isolation school, whatever you want to call it. And it was all just like too much, and so I had to step back from a few things, and you know you prioritize, you figure out what are the most important things, you get those things done. And so this summer it's been a lot of families pretty high on the priority list, but as we're gearing up for the fall, I'm ready to really hit designing and getting everything going on the blog again. And I'm excited about it. I've got some pretty cool ideas um, coming up. Like I want to design a dress this late fall, going
Oh,
into winter. I have an idea
I
for a
feel like you
dress.
are living in my house because I did have an idea. Seriously, I've been thinking I want to make a dress so much, like especially because I was like I've been wanting to make a dress for the holiday seasons, but I'm like this year there's
Yes,
probably not going to be a holiday season for real this year. So should I wait until
right.
next year to do it?
No, just do
But
it. If you're feeling inspired, do it.
maybe we
That's
should
what I
work on
say.
something together for a
All right.
dress.
I was looking at doing like a shorter dress like you would wear over a tunic or
Mm-hmm.
something is the idea I have. I have a whole like I have the stitches all planned out. I haven't swatched because I haven't ordered the yarn for it, but I'm really excited about it. And it's if it works, I'm totally gonna live in that thing for like all winter.
Just like I'm living in this top because ever since I
Right?
made it, I think I haven't worn this top like maybe yeah, maybe I spent 3 days without wearing this top since I've made it because I've been wearing it all the time.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So
Those
yeah.
are the best projects, though. I just finished up making a sweater from Bernadette, A Purpose in a Stitch, and it's this big, oversized cardigan. And I made mine in pink because, that's what I do. Do things in pink. And it's just like so cozy. And it's just like one of those wrap yourself up in. So that's definitely one people need to make this fall. It was so comfy to wear. So yes, I totally get that. And it's like summer, right? It's 100 degrees out. And I'm like, maybe I should crank the AC down a few degrees so I can wear my sweater.
I thought about doing that in here, but yesterday I had to crank it down a few degrees so I could wear my sweater because it was way too hot outside.
It has been crazy. I am looking forward to fall. Fall is my favorite time of year. And I'm very excited about the designs we've got coming up for that. I've got a few other things in the works, but like for the Etsy shop, that's one thing I'm super excited about. And it's another thing I'm trying to like figure out what's the best way to organize this.
Yeah, because I do. I love the new mug that you have on there because I know you sent me a picture of it. I'll put
I
a
have
picture
this
of it up.
one.
Oh my
I'm
god,
actually wait, where's my camera? There we go.
there
I'm
we go.
drinking out of this one. And then I sent you a picture of one of the other
Mm-hmm.
designs. And right now our plan is we will do an exclusive design every month. And that means it will only be available for that month.
Oh,
So you'll have 1 month to snag the items with an exclusive design. We don't have any of those up right now. We just have like stock items. And then we'll also add a stock regular thing each month so that until we build up, because our inventory is not huge right now. We just have a few designs, and some of that is due to production time with people still returning to work and they're really backed up on stuff. So, but we have a really cute design coming out for August, and I'm super excited about it. We're going to have a mug, a project bag, and flip-flops in this design. I love the flip-flops. They're so fun. But it's going to be based on, I'm going to give you guys a sneak peek. Hold on. Where did I put the little sketch? And I have it here on my calendar, just the mini sketch. Wait, there it is. It's going to be based on this little, where is it? Oh gosh, here we go. I cannot figure out the camera for the life of me. We're going to do crochet cactus images. And that's what's going to be on our next batch of things. Because llamas and cactuses go to what? Cacti? Llamas and cacti?
cacti.
They go together so well. So I'm excited to get these. We'll be pushing out the August designs the first Friday in August is when those will go live.
Okay. I like
Or
it.
at least
I
that's the
really
plan.
love your mug. I saw the bag you had. It was a
Yes.
project bag. I was like, oh my god, I'm gonna need to spend some money on this.
I'm still waiting for my copy of one of the bags to get here. I ordered one of the backpack project bags because I have 3 different styles. There's the drawstring, the tote, and the backpack. And the backpack has so many pockets, which some people like the tote, just like put it all in there. And some people like, I need a pocket for my notions. I need a pocket for this, a pocket for that. And the project bag with the backpack, it has a pocket for your laptop or a small laptop or like a tablet or your notebook. So you have your notes with you. And then it has a big pocket where you can put your yarn in. It has 2 zipper pouches, one on the front and one on the inside. And there's also a little tiny zipper pouch in the back base where you can slip your phone in, but you could still like reach and grab it when it's
Okay.
behind you, which is so cool.
I like
And
that.
I
Or
do. I'm
staying
so
organized
excited.
on the go.
I know. I ordered it and I was kind of like my copy of it, and I'm kind of like, I don't actually need another project bag, but I need this one.
So I'm keeping this one. Yes, I love I know the one you had, not the, I know, so the drawstrings. I'm
Yes.
not a fan of the drawstrings ones just because I feel like for me, I'm always ending up fighting with them. And at some point,
Hmm.
for some reason, I always end up pulling the string out. It's always end up being a mess for me. And I don't want
Right.
to fight with that. But I love the tote version that you have.
Yes, the
So,
totes are really nice.
yes.
My sister has one of the totes. Let's see if I can like turn it. It's hanging up on her chair over there. Wait, turn it, turn. There we go.
Yes.
That was our proof one that we ordered, which we realized after we ordered it that was super off-centered, and we had to go back and rework the design. But it says, let's see, I'll bring it over here. Oh. It's the work in progress one, which I think is so pretty. I love the laurel wreath thing happening on there.
So, Rebekah, we are coming to the end of this. I can't believe you're
Yes.
already on this 1
I
hour.
I've had so many people messaging me right now, like on Facebook. It's like, are you done? Is it lunchtime yet?
Now, I put my phone on do not disturb, and I have like I can see it light up every time a
Yes.
message come on. I'm just like, don't look down at your phone. So, but I have one last question for you
Yes.
before you go. So it's, do you plan your year? Like, I know for me, December time frame, I start planning all the projects I would like to work on.
I have not done that in a lot of detail, but that is something I am planning to start doing this year. And one of the reasons one thing I want to do is get a simple year-long planner, like they have millions of them in December and January, and go through and really plan out the year and have that where I can pull out and reference it when I need to, instead of just going month by month. Because right now I think I'm usually thinking a month to 2 months out and planning that far in advance. Which there are some advantages to that, because you can like be like, oh, this is trending right now, I need to work that in. But at the same time, I think there's a certain level of peace of mind that comes from having an overall plan for the year. And that's something that I'm planning to be working on and growing in personally. Just like, also not just from a business mindset, but just also as a family, just taking a time to plan out the whole year. This is when we're going on vacation. This is when people's birthdays are. This is when we need to budget for these things and stuff like that, in addition to also planning out my blog content. Because like I said, so far I've been really taking it one thing at 1 or 2 months at a time. Or this year I started doing a season. Like I did the spring and then I did summer, and now I need to plan fall and winter. But I think it would be better to do the full year in advance.
I don't really go as in depth as you're talking about. For me, it's really a Word document I pull up,
Okay.
and I just say, I want to start doing more blog posts. I want to start, and then I write down what type of blog posts I want to do. I don't select which months yet I want to do it. I want to do more, connect with more designers, and I just write down the different ideas on doing that.
Okay.
I want to work on this, like a few patterns. Like I want to work on 5 patterns for the year, because I tried doing the 12 patterns for the year. That did not work out very well for me.
Okay.
So, and I just do that, and I'll just go through it as I'm working on it throughout the year. And I'll just say, okay, this one, I want to do this now. I want to do this now. And I'll move them around to the month I want to work them with.
I did something similar, but I didn't end up moving it to months, but I did plan out, like, this is how I want my month to generally look like. I try to do 4 blog posts a month, which is a lot. So one is like a bigger pattern. One is a small pattern, and then one is like a tips or a trick or a stitch tutorial type thing. And one is the crochet pattern party that I do every month, where designers can come and upload a link to their free crochet pattern, and it just directs people to their blog from mine.
Okay.
And then everybody who uploads a link, people who click on them, it's like a vote, and then the winners get celebrated for the next party. So it's kind of a fun. It's just like, let's all come and enjoy crocheting. It's a lot of fun, and it's so cool to see this stuff, because you'll find designers you've never heard about before, and you're like, oh, you make cool stuff. And it's like you find new people to follow and to support. You find new ideas. Like you'll see people who've designed stuff, and you're like, I would have never thought to put something together like that. Exactly. So it's a lot of fun.
You see like all the creativity that exists in this community that otherwise you would have never seen. So
yes, definitely. And it's a lot of fun. So I haven't been 100% on that. Like this last month, I only did 3 blog posts instead of 4, but I took a whole week off we went out of town. I took a week off, just like take a break. And sometimes that's, like I said, sometimes that's important.
That's necessary. Yeah. For you to give your best, you have to take care of yourself. So I trust me, yesterday I learned that.
I'm so glad you took the day off though. That's so good for you.
I took the day off of life yesterday. I was like, I'm just doing me and Disney Plus. That's it.
That's awesome.
Thank you so much for being on the podcast, Rebekah. I think we went way over the time we scheduled for. If you don't mind telling everyone where they can find you on social media, which platform they can reach you best at, just let them know.
Yes, I am Rebekah Haas of Rebekah Haas Crochet. I'm on Instagram at rebekah.haas.crochet. Facebook, Rebekah Haas Crochet. And my website is RebekahHaas.com. I'm also on Etsy. My shop is also Rebekah Haas Crochet. So it's not that hard to find me. And I hope you do. And I hope you like what you see, you like the patterns you find there. So I will talk to you all later.
I hope you guys took away a lot of information from this episode. Whether you're a maker, tester, or designer, this episode was truly made for you to stay organized and to get your projects and finished item out on time. It's really has been a pleasure having Rebekah here, because every time I talk to her, I feel like I'm learning something new. I'm learning a little bit of something that's going to make me a better person, a better or more organized person. So if you've enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel, like this video, and leave a comment below telling me how you stay organized. Maybe I can learn something from you too.